Get down from there, you two. Come on.
I think I need a new introduction. This corner of the yard, as you can see, does need quite a bit of cleaning up. There's a bonnet there that wants to be put away, and there's some big things inside, shrink wrapped boxes. I won't say what they are. This needs to be dismantled. There's a box of bits there that need to be put away, but the biggest eyesore of the lot is clearly this Zafira. My job for the day is going to be pulling the engine out of this Zafira, and I won't be doing it with any great care. I'll just be yanking it out. In fact, the more damage and destruction the better, and then I will be chucking it away. And the next job will be then to pull the Zafira onto the back of the truck and chuck that away as well, and I won't be doing that with any care or precision. No. So the tools I will need for this job are a few sockets, a breaker bar, my buzz gun, and probably a hammer. I probably won't even, I will need this at some point, and I'll need that. That's the truck, not the car. And in every other instance of removing an engine, some perseverance, patience, and usually a little bit of know-how. On this instance, I'm not going to use any of those particular talents, but I'm going to use something called BFI instead. Unfortunately, having undone this one gearbox mount there, the thing's not loose, so there's obviously another mount at the back, which means I've got to jack it up and climb under it to find it, which is a bit annoying. Anyway, for all those people that don't like this Zafira, there you go, and this as well. Go on, Tony, beat it up. This is what I call the double trolley. That's jacked up as high as it will go, and some wheels under there to make it a bit, safer. I really wouldn't like to find myself squashed under a car, especially a Vauxhall Zafira. It's got loads of E-bolts under there. E-bolts are particularly irritating because I haven't got them, so I just have to hope that the usual metric bolts work and you get a good purchase on it. Obviously it needs quite a lot of engine mounts, being a diesel, because otherwise it would just rattle itself free and you'd find yourself coasting down the road with the engine bouncing behind you. And because you're in a Vauxhall Zafira, you probably wouldn't even notice. Well, I got those three gearbox mounts off by using the breaker bar and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extensions. Oh, by the way, it smells of cat pee down there. When pulling an engine out, that rocking is always a welcome thing to see. Right, there's the airbox carefully removed. And now with the airbox carefully yanked out of place, we can get to the other 6 engine mounts. That is 6 bolts I have definitely got to take out. The rest of it, I might just take a chance and just yank it out, and hopefully the wiring and the drive shafts and everything else there won't be stuck in firm enough to actually give me too much issue. I guess I'll find out soon enough. Well, that wasn't a very interesting engine drop. Seems like it only has half an inch or so before it hits the subframe. That's rather tedious, to be honest. To deal with the frustration of walking up and down the yard constantly, I make this worthwhile by having a ginger biscuit every time. What I'm going to do now is stick the hook through there on the winch and yank it with that. I'm fairly confident that something's going to go a bit wrong, to be honest, but I'm really not interested in spending ages pulling this thing apart properly, as you probably gathered. That's what I need.
Oh yes, very good. With this winch controller you could probably pull that engine out.
that bit's broken now. My chances of selling the inlet manifold are significantly reduced now. Obviously that didn't work. Next step was to undo the hub nuts, and I slipped with my breaker bar. I did myself an injury. I'm not going to show you what it looked like without that on. I'd need some sort of 18 certificate. I'd have my video banned. Failed so far. Brute force and ignorance is the preferred method with this. Unfortunately, too much ignorance, not enough brute force. Oddly enough, actually, someone's just messaged me asking for the near side mirror. I'll have to take this off then. Yep. Time's getting on. This was supposed to be just a quick job for today. Go and get rid of that engine, free up the rest of that car. That could be gotten rid of. And now I'm having to do the job properly, which is disappointing because I spent quite a bit of the day not doing it properly to try and save time. One thing that never gives me trouble is subframe bolts, because the long bolts that go up into the chassis, and they've never got rust on them. And this one, being the newest car I've ever had here, has rust. Captive nuts or rusted on. Which means that I can't get it off the proper way either. Which means I'm back to BFI and probably getting the grinder out. It's rather disappointing. I could have spent the whole day doing something I like doing, rather than this. I'm going to have to use a hacksaw to get through that engine mount bolt. The question is, can I get through it before it goes dark? Doesn't look like it's going to happen. That's 2 blades I've managed to snap so far. Hacking my way, not really getting very far. Highly disappointing. There is only one engine mount left. That's the one that I couldn't hack through. So I took the rest of them off anyway. Now it's just down to these top mounts for the shock absorbers. And what do we have here? Yes, what is that? I mean, why? Why do we need this here? Here, I know, I've got an idea. Why do we need a special tool just to take the shock absorbers off? It's 5 o'clock now, and I've got to say this has been one of the most disappointing days I've had in a very long time. I have literally no idea why I'm still down here trying to do this dreadful job. As I am now finding out, these plastic things are actually retainers that hold the top mounts in place. What's wrong with nuts and bolts? This is definitely the end of today, as it's just gone 6 o'clock. And I haven't given up all day, I've just carried on going, and it's been exceedingly disappointing, which is fairly appropriate really, because that's a reflection on what a Vauxhall is like to drive.